Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network. Become enlightened, have fun, and tell all your friends and family to share with everyone they know. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble while following us on Facebook, or find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts can be found on Libsyn, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. Most of all, remember to go to our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for past episodes, future shows, and scheduling. We also want to welcome our international audience. Don't stop now. Enjoy the community. Subscribe or follow today.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Hello and welcome wherever you might be on the spaceship we call Earth. This is Conscious Radio Network's The Seance Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, please click subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. And of course, follow us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Returning to us, our guest today is Richard Trillian-Menti, a personal development expert and financial coach with over 6 years of experience in psychology and finance. Richard specializes in helping individuals transform their relationship with money by breaking free from limiting beliefs and cultivating a wealthy mindset. Let's welcome back Richard Trillian-Menti. Welcome back, brother. You have always got something new going on, and since we last spoke, you've got like what, three books, 3, 4, 5? How many new ones since we last spoke?
Like 4 books out.
Wow. Woo. There's never a dull moment, man. There's a lot in there. So what inspired you to do this shift from psychology, especially on today's show, on today's topic, shifting from psychology to finance, and how they connect?
Basically, it's all in the mind, right? Whatever happened physically, it's all happened mentally before it happened physically. So whatever that you see physically outside is a manifestation of what is already in somebody's mind. It's like you have a vision in your mind and you bring your vision into reality, so before you can achieve anything, you have to have it in the mind first. There's no way that will happen without having it in the mind. So the mind is the most important thing. So we have to focus, have the vision in the mind. We'll bring the vision to reality physically.
Yeah, manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power of thought, thinking, and 2 is emotion. We got to be careful with the emotion. We think too much, we get too emotional. It can create some suffering, but it's like, got to be careful as to what our mindset is. Instead of all these doubting thoughts, we got to have creative thoughts.
Exactly. You got to stay positive. Make sure that your thinking, even if it's emotional, is a positive thought that will manifest something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the book we're going to be talking about today is, let me bring it up here. Oh, come on. There we go. Money Mindset, Reprogram Your Subconscious Mind for Wealth. So, and where can people find the book?
Well, the book is published at Amazon. We have it on Amazon, so if you put the name of the book at Amazon, you're going to find it right away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and my name on the book is Richard Trillian-Menti. If you go over there, you go there and just go pick up a copy. It will change your life forever.
Oh,
thank you. Yeah.
What seems to be the most common limiting belief about money?
Well, people usually believe that having a lot of money is like you are greedy.
Mm.
Yeah, you are greedy, and also having a lot of money, like if you're not born in a family that are rich. Every time you're trying to change your life and go for money, they call you greedy. And some people actually even believe money is evil, and money is a spirit, right? So if you think that thing is evil, but yet you go to work and work for 8 hours and put in all these hours to get this money, but yet in your heart, you think having the money is evil, or having the money, you think you're trying to make a lot of money, you think that having that money, you're being greedy. There's no way the money will stay with you. So you have to believe that you were created in this world, that your abundance, you were created in this world to have a lot of money so you can help a lot of people in your life. The more money you have, the better for you, so that you can actually help a lot of people in your life, because money makes the world goes around. So if you have this limited beliefs about money is no good and money is evil, it's like a hindrance that is ingrained into your subconscious mind, that every time you go out there and try to make money, that belief system you have will prevent you from actually succeeding, because the mindset that you have within yourself is not good about it, and you cannot attract anything when you deep in your heart you think that thing that you're trying to get is evil. There's no way it will come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we too is looking at it in a metaphysical kind of mindset. Is I always looked at money as energy. It's an
Yes,
exchange in energy.
exactly.
You know, you go to work, it takes energy to do that.
Yeah,
But if you're going to work and you put your energy, your heart, blood, sweat, tears into something, and whether it's and even artwork, you know, someone, you know, if you're a commissioned artist and you're doing this and doing that, you're obviously creating something out of energy.
yeah.
And I mean, you're not going to do anything for free unless it's like something really cool, you know, but you're expecting something in exchange.
Of course.
And that is a currency, which is interesting because if we
Yeah.
look at our language, currency is current.
Yep.
Current is energy.
Yep. Is it everything basically is an energy,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
So in this book here, like if you take a look at the book here, I go really deep about how to remove all this limited belief you have within yourself about money, so that money can actually flow to you. And this are I'm gonna, like, people actually also believe that, like, they were born poor. They have this belief system in them because the environment they grew up, like, I'll give an example. When you were born as a kid, by the time you were 6 years old, you already been programmed by your parent, the environment that you grew up in, and the people that you grew up around. You've been programmed by them subconsciously, so you don't even know. So as you go out there in the public and you're trying to change your life, okay, and you have a job and try to change your life, this handling belief system, limited belief you have within yourself, actually sabotage your progress. So you try to, like, you go to school and you have a good education and you try to make a lot of money, but every time you make the money, realize that uh, situations happen to take away the money. But most people don't know that money is a spirit. It's a spirit. Yeah, money is a spirit. So you have to become consciously aware that you are rich. Once you have it up in your subconscious mind, you begin to attract this money into you automatically. It becomes like a part of you, your nature. So in this book here, I talk about that and how to program your subconscious mind to attract any money that you're looking for in life. Very
Yeah.
powerful stuff.
Wow. That is cool. That is cool. And not only that too, but the type of other resources, not only the money, but the resources that can point to money or point to other things that will attract money, jobs, opportunity,
Yeah,
and different directions. I mean, it's a web. It's a web of so many different resources and stuff like that will eventually attract
yeah.
to us to that. What are some of the strategies that you use to help people develop this wealth mindset?
Yeah, in the books, I talk about true strategy. I'm going to give the audience a little bit of a strategy.
Yeah, not too much. We don't want to give away the book.
So it's basically it's a true strategy, but I'm going to just pick up one. Okay, the one that I would say is I'm going to use affirmation. Affirmation strategy. But we all have other two strategies in the book that you need to know about it. Affirmation is basically you write an affirmation, because we have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind, right? I know that you already know what this, but somebody in the audience might not know this. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind, and your subconscious mind is your habitual mind, where all habits are formed. So whatever you listen to consistently, whatever you keep on talking about or seeing with all your four senses over and over, it becomes a habit that is ingrained into your subconscious mind. When it becomes a habit, this subconscious mind is like a million times more powerful than your conscious mind. It causes you to do things that you program it willingly, like an autopilot. And it controls 95% of your thought, So I would say that in this book here, with affirmation, I have some affirmation written in the book that help you step by step how to program your subconscious mind to take away any limited belief you have within yourself about money, so that you can actually attract money automatically, into your life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And words are very powerful. What we
Yeah.
tell ourselves, it's and for those people who, there's another word for it, like a mantra. Wake up every morning, say that mantra, affirmation: I am wealthy, I have money. And I hear people always, say, I wish I had more money, or I don't have any. I was like, you just created reality by saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
And the words are very powerful, though. Like, for instance, if you consistently have a habit of speaking a certain way, the subconscious mind is a very interesting stuff. So it record every conversation you have. So you program it through repetition, something you do it over and over. So as you're there, even having a conversation with your friend, talking about money, and if you say anything that can sabotage you consistently, or you have friends that always talk about, uh, say bad things about money, they don't say anything good about money, it programs you having this conversation with them consistently, or you thinking this stuff consistently. It programs you. So when it comes to money, like with this book here, I really try to show people even how to speak regarding money. Even talk, words are very powerful. So as you're speaking, you program yourself. So you got to be careful what you say about yourself. Anytime you talk about yourself, you have to make sure if you're using the word I am, you always end up with something positive, because you're talking to your soul. You are addressing your soul. The word I am goes straight into your soul. So if you keep on using that word all the time, and you end up something or positive, you become what you say you are. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
And I see everything in this book too. Yeah.
Yeah, and too, at a metaphysical aspect is, if we're in conversations with a group of people, or a friend or colleague or anybody, is, like you said, being careful how we say something, with the words that we use, because in a sense it kind of creates a spell, a curse, so to speak.
Oh,
And
yes.
just look at the
Yeah.
words that we use every day. Even the word, like just before when I mentioned the word currency, the word spell or spelling. Well, just look at the word spell.
Yeah.
If it's spelled in a particular way, you just casted a spell. So the way we say something, or the way we energetically say something in a conversation, like you said, we got to be careful how we convey certain messages to ourselves or to others, or as a group, because the more people in that group, the more powerful it becomes.
100%.
Yeah. Have you had any personal, like a personal story, or maybe like an outcome of a client of yours that you've worked with, or a friend of yours that worked with, and that kind of like was a breakthrough type, like, whoa, this worked?
Yeah, I have actually my partner, and I'm teaching her how to, what do you call it, use words wisely, because you have to be taught how to speak. Because some people think you're just talking, so you're just talking. No, you have to choose your word wisely, because words are spirit and they create your future. Every word that comes out of your mouth will come back and visit you in the future, because you spoke those words. So don't say that you are joking. It will happen if you keep on saying that, because the reason why it will happen is it's like you praying. It is repetition. As you are talking, you're programming yourself. So if you're saying something about yourself, and I keep telling my partner that it's not positive. Like when you think about yourself, you have to see yourself as somebody that you want to be. Okay.
Mm.
And you have to think about yourself as good, because every thought that you think about your mind, whatever you have in your mind about who you are, people see you the same way.
Mm.
So most people have issue with what do you call it? They're always worried about what other people think about them. What the
Yeah.
people are thinking about you is what you think about yourself, because we all connected. We all connected. So as you are thinking, you're sending that energy into the minds of everyone out there. So how you see yourself is how everybody sees you. So the perception you have of yourself is extremely very important. So you have to see yourself as who you want people to see you, and they will see you that way. So when you go out there,
Mm.
what you believe of yourself, what you see yourself is how everybody sees you. So it's like you put those thoughts in the stream of space, and it goes into the mind of other people. A very powerful information entity. So I said all these things about this book here. The book here, I go into details exactly. So how you think is extremely very important. So you go in a crowd, see a person go and make a speech. When you get there, you are nervous. So as you're talking there, you make everybody that listen to you become nervous. But when you
Yeah.
go there and you have confidence, that energy rub off everybody, because we all connected. So this is comfort basically. So you being confident about yourself, thinking good about yourself, and using positive words are extremely very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
important. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Some of the things that I've, some lectures I've done, especially when I first started doing lectures in front of a bunch of people.
Okay.
Yeah. It can get pretty nerve wracking,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then you keep telling yourself, I got this. I got this.
Oh yeah.
That there's, and just pretend there's nobody there. Just pretend it's an empty room.
These are positive words to give you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when you stand in front of a lot of people, I mean, first of all, the reason why you became nervous because you start thinking
Hmm.
not positive, negative. And when you start having that kind of state of mind, it affects the way you behave, because your mind filters your body. Whatever you think is your mind goes into your body and affect your environment. So if you go in a public, like when I start talking on YouTube, the first time I was on a live show, this is
Yeah.
my first time I go on YouTube. I was nervous. Like, I have to change my mindset. And when I changed my mindset, I became okay. So now when I come on it, I'm comfortable talking. It's like I'm talking to my friend over here, right? So
Yeah.
I begin to aware that you have to believe in what you're saying, actually think good about what you're saying. And if what you're saying is true, people actually, if you tell the truth, people know you're telling the truth. And if you're
Hmm.
lying, they know too. So you just have to
Yeah.
be authentic and be yourself, and you'll be fine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Authenticity and the confidence too. You got to have confidence.
Yeah, believe in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It comes from here,
Yeah.
not just here. This is just remembering.
Oh
If
yeah.
you're studying whatever it is that you got to talk about. Normally I don't. There's times I overstudy. I look at the material I'm going to talk about. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, dude, this is a waste of time. I already know it.
It's
And
right
then
after being a hat.
and if I do study and I'm up there talking in front of people, um, I normally just put the cards down. I don't even look at them, and it all just I wouldn't say it all comes back to me. It's just like it it just comes to you.
You do
And
better when it comes from the heart and you're speaking from the heart. People listen to you and they can feel what you're saying. But if you
yeah,
have the people that are looking at it, it's not really you. So
exactly.
I
It's
do
like a
better when
script.
I come on the show and I don't know what kind of questions you're going to ask me, and I'm just ready for the questions, because that's how real I am, and that I've seen that about you too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
what you were saying to me. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes and that's the thing too. Sometimes it's easier. Well, most of the time. I've noticed it's easier to be a guest on the show than it is a host.
It's true.
Yeah, it's weird that there's things that normally I have to read. It's not. It's weird. It just I don't understand it. There's things that seem to be more nerve wracking as hosting a show than it is to just be a guest on the show. I
Very
don't know
good.
why, but
I have a. I know you're interviewing, but I have a question for you.
uh
Yo, the question that I have for you is that the first time that you interview, how do you feel on your first interview? How was it for you?
My
Were you
first my
yeah.
first interview. Uh, Luckily, it was just radio, so nobody saw me. They could
Oh,
just hear
okay.
me.
Okay.
Um, and it was live too. It was live on the air.
Wow.
And luckily, I had a co-host at the time.
That's
He's
amazing.
really good, and he normally does radio anyways, so he was used to it. So I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here in the background. I'm going like, just coming in on and just asking a couple. But yeah, I was still nervous. Nobody knew who I was. They couldn't see my face, but still, it was like mentally,
Mentally,
I
yeah.
know I'm live
Yeah.
and hundreds, if not thousands, of people are listening. But
Exactly.
it didn't matter. I felt nervous and trying to convey a thought or convey a question. It was like I couldn't get the words out. I just couldn't. And like,
You
or
know,
I'd stumble. All these
it's-
filler words, and and it's like all kinds of stuff.
oh yeah. But you know, after after you did it for a while, it becomes like natural to you. You know, when you come on, even you might be nervous a little bit, but
Mhm.
not as nervous as the first time, right? So
Yeah,
as time goes on, it becomes like a natural to you. Which is, I'm talking to you like right now. I'm looking at you. You look
yeah,
comfortable. I look comfortable. So it's incredible. It's amazing. You know,
yeah.
it's
And then
fantastic.
when I got into the whole podcasting thing, I'm like, okay, I'm going to launch it as a video.
That's awesome.
And then the first one was kind of nerve wracking because now it's like, oh crap, now I see myself. It's like, oh, I'm like, okay, I sound goofy. Because normally, nobody is really, it's weird. Nobody really understands or realizes how they sound. Because how
Yep.
we hear ourselves is completely different of when we actually
Exactly.
hear ourselves on a recording. It's like, I don't sound like that.
Exactly.
It's like,
You wouldn't believe my first live show I went to.
yeah.
You know, it's so funny that the first time I came on YouTube, okay, was a live show. I didn't even know it was live. All right. And
Yeah.
as how I was being interviewed, I find I was live. But then when I watched myself after, I was looking on the side. I'm like, what am I looking on the side for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I
Yeah.
watched it with my partner, and she looked at me and said, "What? Who's standing beside her?" I said, "Well, you try to go on live show and see how you're gonna look like and sound like, you know." So I think I did my best. It was
Yeah.
interesting, but I mean, we make fun of. But after a while, you get comfortable, talking on the show, and it's a blessing, though. By the way, it's a
Yeah.
blessing.
Yeah.
You know.
After a while, you definitely get used to it. But even still today, I criticize myself. I'll go and moderate, the shows and stuff when they premiere, and I'll
Yeah.
just look at myself. I'm like, dude, in my mind, I'm going, what the heck am I saying? Why did I say that? Why do I sound like this? Why, and it's like, whatever. It's like,
I mean, when you're doing a show like that, you might say some stuff you're not supposed to say, but I mean, it's part of the show, right?
yeah, part of the
It's
show.
part of the show. I
And,
mean,
and I've had a couple comments here. Somebody will make like a comment on something just recently too. They made a comment, and I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? Like the host said this, and the guest said that, and I'm like, okay, I I don't understand, but thanks for the comment.
everybody, when you come on these shows, everybody have their opinion about you. So, like, I mean, you don't know who's watching you, right? So, like, the thing is that you have to have a little bit thick skin. And
Hmm.
sometimes I watch the critics and I use it to better myself. So, everybody have their own opinion. Especially social media, everyone have an opinion. So, if
Oh
you don't
yeah,
want to talk
yeah.
about, you don't have to put your face on the show. They will talk
Everybody
about you.
has, yep. Everybody has an opinion, and
Yeah,
that's why even on this show, I open it to anybody, everybody who has a topic to share
yeah,
that anything from, I mean, anything that will help mankind,
exactly.
humankind with getting by the struggles
That's awesome.
and helping
And
helping the collective.
I
And
feel every time I come to your show, like I'm very comfortable and I'm able to express myself. And I think that That's one of the best things about your show. It's amazing. You make your guests comfortable to speak from their heart. And it's incredible. I just wanted to
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
you're
you. That
welcome.
means a lot. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, yeah, and having the mindset too, as far as getting, and this book is pretty much a coaching. It's a self-coaching book, and
Yeah,
coaching
self-coaching. Yeah.
people into getting into that mindset
Hmm.
of of getting people past this limiting belief
Yeah.
that they've been programmed since, pretty much like you said, since childhood. If
Childhood. Yeah.
you grew up in a family that didn't really have much money,
Yeah.
you had a stay-at-home mom, the father went out and worked all the time, and yeah, limited on the food that you'd have on the table, on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
And I hear these stories. I mean, we've seen them in movies,
Oh, yeah.
or television shows. The mother and child are going to the store, and you hear the dialogue. Mom says to the child, "Well, we're poor, or we don't have much money, so you can
Exactly.
only get one thing." And yeah, it's said all the time. We keep hearing it repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated.
It
Um,
programs the kids growing, and the parent. The bottom line, most of the parents don't even know what they're doing because nobody
yeah.
taught them this, right? So if they were taught about this stuff here, then they will pass on to the kids. So it's like the blind leading the blind. So they
Hmm.
don't even know they're doing. They're parenting the best of their abilities, what they know, because you cannot teach a kid what you don't know. Whatever
Yeah.
were taught by your parent is what you teach your kids. So if the parent or the people you are growing up with doesn't know this stuff here, all they can teach is what they know. So if they're speaking that way to them, that's what they were taught. You're not even
Yeah.
aware about. So it actually hurt the kid and keep on going until the time somebody become aware of this information, and it breaks the cycle. That's why I wrote this book here, because I know this is really hurting a lot of families and parents, and they are not even aware of it. And you can only change something when you know there's something wrong. You know,
Hmm.
you can't change anything if you don't think there's something wrong. So, and if you don't know that there's something wrong, you keep doing over and over. You know what I mean? So until somebody come
Yeah.
and make you aware of, hey, you have to speak this way to the kids. And kids, they absorb. I was a kid before, you know, I listened to everything my parents taught me, and so it becomes a part of you. And when you
Yeah.
grow up, it begin to handle you and sabotage you. And
Hmm.
that's one. And money is extremely very important. Everybody need money. So this about money was something I really want to put out there to elevate people, to change people's life. To change their
Yeah.
life.
And you can imagine if this was something that was taught if this type of mindset was
Yeah.
taught in public school growing
Yep.
up,
Yeah.
had a course in math, you can add this into a math class or something like that, it's just, or a psychology class or humanities or something,
Yeah.
bringing these types of topics into school, into public schools or private schools, um, and a regular public education system. Wow. Would
That'll be
this
very good.
really change the
Everything.
map and the course of history?
Exactly what kids growing up in school. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Maybe we
It's
should
like,
find a way to make the the system or the government teach this in school. That'd be very good.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That'd be very good because it will help every kid that growing up is going to help them so much. I mean, I didn't know this when I was a kid growing up. I did a lot of. I have to grow up to be able to find out about this stuff. If I knew this when I was a kid, I'd probably be a billionaire by now.
right? Yeah,
Oh yeah. I
man.
wasn't aware of this stuff here. And once I became aware of it, I said, no, I cannot keep this information myself. I have to write a book about it, because the whole thing is about changing people's life, to elevating people. So if you have information like that, you can't keep it to yourself. You have to put it in a book and share it to people
Hmm.
to make people's life better. That's the whole point. We are here to lift each other up, to make people become aware of this stuff, so it will change their life financially. And when everybody's rich, they can help so much people around. The world
Oh
become a
yeah,
better place, right? You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, if everybody is rich, everybody be happy. Well,
oh yeah.
I know a few rich people and they're not happy. It's like, the tax man's always after him or something, you know?
Oh, man.
Uh,
That's interesting. That's funny.
yeah, it's like, and that's true too. Is like if you
Yeah.
notice some people out there that have so much money,
Uh-huh.
and I wouldn't say the richest people in the world, but we all know a few of them.
Yeah, of course.
Not personally, but we definitely know, some. We can name some, some of the
Yeah.
richest in the world. But really, are they that happy?
Mm.
Money doesn't always bring happiness, but at the
Well,
same time, too, if you have just comfortably enough, and for those
yeah.
who don't,
Hmm.
uh, I mean, definitely a little extra would definitely make a family happy.
People don't
Absolutely,
understand. Money is just a tool that you use to get what you want, It's a tool.
yeah,
So to have your hands on, like, to become financially free, right, is the goal, right? So you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to go, I mean, like, exchange time for money. Because if you work a 9 to 5, right? Okay, you spend your
yeah,
time 8 hours working, right? Okay, I'm not saying people shouldn't do 9 to 5, but if you can do a small business on the side that can give you extra money, right? Because I believe that if you do business, you make more money than doing 9 to 5. So
hmm,
you can do your 9 to 5 at the same time. So you have to create a business that you can do on the side that will generate a lot of money for your profit that will actually change your life. And I talk about this stuff in the book too. So all I'm saying here is that uh, the money is just a tool that you use to get the things you want in life. That's what money is. So if you want to
yeah,
buy a house, whatever you want to buy, you use it to buy it. So basically, I mean, if he's giving you all this stuff here, it can make you have happiness, but it doesn't really provide 100% happiness. But it gives you the stuff that you want in life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
good to have money, and I believe that it's everybody's divine right to become rich. So
hmm,
whatever people have been telling you when you were growing up and how you grew up, I'm here to tell you that, I mean, you were born rich. Just by the fact that you grew up in a family that they were not consciously aware that they are rich, and you become the way you are. With the help of this book here, if you can pick up one of the books and read it to understand that you can change this belief system you have within yourself that is actually causing you not to attract enough money that into your life, that would be very good for you. You know what I mean? So, like, the whole point is to change your post life financially. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that if you all are rich, even though we're not going to be 100% happy, but you're going to be a lot happy.
yeah, yeah,
A lot
absolutely.
happy. You know what I mean? It will solve a lot of issues for a
Yeah,
lot of people. Yeah,
yeah. Ugh.
it's incredible.
So before we start closing the show, where can people? It'll scroll on the bottom of the screen. But for those who are listening, where can people find you? Your website is richardtmanty.com. Mantey.
Yeah, that's my website. And I have the book there on my website. I also have it on Amazon. You can get it on my
Cool,
website.
cool.
Also, you
And there's a
can get
lot
it.
more books there too, because there's like,
Oh, a
yeah,
lot. Yeah, and
yeah.
yeah,
So give us a quick summary of the books that you've just recently showed me before we started
okay.
recording.
So is it
You've
okay
got a
if I
couple
show
more.
it to you and I'll
Yeah,
talk about? Okay, so
yeah.
I have this book here. It's called "Transform Your Mind, Transform Your Body: Subconscious Strategy for Sustainable Weight Loss." Over here, it's
There you
also
go.
available at Amazon. How am I doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me get this one. There we go.
Yeah, you got it.
Transform your mind, transform your body. Heck yeah.
Okay. And I also have this book here. It's called Longevity. Longevity,
Longevity, living longer, living better. A practical guide for all.
practical guide for all. I mean,
Yeah.
talking about how you can actually program yourself to actually live longer. So these books are all published. I have it published at Amazon. And I recently published another one called, what do you call it? Subconscious Blueprint. Is also at Amazon. Subconscious Blueprint. is transform your dreams into reality.
Ooh.
It teaches you how, if you have any dreams, you can turn every dream that you have within yourself into reality. The book teaches you step by step, and all this book is published under my name, Richard Tradamante, at Amazon. And we have an upcoming one coming up. It's talking about how to get your soulmate, attract your soulmate, so you don't have to struggle going around changing partners. A lot
Yeah.
of people are struggling. So this one is coming up maybe in 2 weeks. You'll see that on Amazon too. It's about talking about how to attract your soulmate into your life, your true love.
Man,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. Do
Yeah.
you do many public events, public speaking, book shows, book signings, or you traveling? Any
I'm
plans for
trying to.
traveling? And
I'm going to come on ABC and Fox News very soon. I'm working on going to ABC and Fox News. They want to interview maybe in a month or so.
yeah,
So we're putting tunes together. So you might see me there very soon. So
cool.
yeah. And so that when I talk about the books that I have over here, it's extremely very important because people need to know about me and know about these books here. Very important. This book is written for everybody out there to change their life forever. My whole goal is to elevate people to live long, to stay healthy, and become rich. And to attract whatever a partner they're looking for in their life, to get your true soulmate in life.
Yeah,
This is what the book talks about, to elevate
yeah.
people's life, make your life better.
Because the natural state of humanity is joy, is being
Exactly.
joyful, being happy. And we
Exactly.
just got to stop sabotaging ourselves, thinking
Exactly.
too much and just, yeah, limiting beliefs, money, having enough. Because if we had enough money, we could eat healthier,
Exactly.
And,
hmm
you
And we
you
won't
don't
be
have any
so
money, what are you going to
poor.
eat? You're going to eat garbage. And you put garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man. Richard, so before we wrap up, what do you have to offer? What words of wisdom, a takeaway for our audience today?
I would say that everything starts appearing in your mind here. Okay, so you have to be careful about the way you talk, especially when you use the word "I am." I am. Every time you talk, you use the word "I am," referring to your soul. So whatever comes after the word "I am" have to be positive, because when you keep
Yeah,
on saying that over and over, it goes into your subconscious mind, whether you believe this or not, or maybe whether you making a joke, it will affect your life. Even if you're having a conversation with your friend, try to have a positive conversation that actually changes life. So stay away from all this conversation that doesn't elevate you. Try to get in a conversation that changes life, and stay positive up here. Just know that every thought that you hold in your mind consistently is you're going to manifest it in your future.
yeah,
As you think, you become what you think about. So your thought actually filters your body and your environment. It's just like the laws of attraction. So whatever you have up in here, if it's not good, you're gonna start feeling a certain way. So make sure up here is always good and positive. So you'll have a positive outcome all the time. So stay in the conversation that are positive. And that's the message I give. And I wish you all the best.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Very, very, very well put. And
yeah,
that's the truth. We got to be conscientious
yeah.
of our mindset, our conversations, our intent
Intent. Yeah,
towards ourselves, towards others, and in conversations. Very important.
exactly.
Very, very. Yeah. Richard, thank you so much for joining us again and coming back and sharing your book, and looking forward for other visits on this show from you. Um,
I'm excited
and
to come to your show anytime.
definitely more than welcome, my friend. More than welcome.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me. You are amazing.
Thank you, and so are you.
Thank you.
So are you. You
Thank
got a
you.
lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of gifts to share in the words that you put down on those pages. And yes, it definitely a lot of people out there um, are need to read it. Need to.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Very welcome,
Thank you so much, man.
Richard. Namaste, my friend. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure coming to your show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching Conscious Radio Network's The Seance, and we will see you next time.